Hi everyone, welcome to my latest video. I am super excited to share this with you finally. It has been in the making for quite some time now. It's a beautiful spread of tiger motifs and some botanical art and lettering. So it's the trio of illustration all rolled into one, and I'm very excited to present it to you. If you are new here, hi, how are you? And I hope you stay a while. I like to create videos around my art, illustration and bullet journaling, so if you're into that, then stick around. I was super excited to share this video with you, and I had high ambitions in releasing it prior to Valentine's this year, but life got in the way and it just didn't happen. So during that time, I had a lot going on. My 2-year and 9-month-old fell sick with the flu, so that was devastating. It's hard when the little ones get sick, and all my efforts were thrown into her, as you do, and then I just had this added pressure in the back of my mind, like, you know, maybe I wasn't doing enough, maybe I could be doing more, maybe I could be sleeping less and hustle more to do what I wanted to get done in my own time, which is very small for a mum. If there's any mums out there that can relate, give me a shout out. So I went through the usual feelings of not being able to, you know, tick off that thing off my list, and I have lots of lists. You know, there's the to-do list, and it's, you know, to-do list for my own business, it's my to-do list for my family, and just your regular to-do list, you know, in life, you know, laundry, cooking, cleaning, etc. And the lists go on, and they're never ending, and they can sometimes be very overwhelming, and obviously you have to prioritize, especially when time is scarce. So I was going through those usual feelings of being hard on myself, like, you know, maybe I should be doing more. And I happened to answer a question on an account's stories on Instagram, and the account is Switch and Pivot, and it's run by the lovely Emma. And she replied to the question that I answered, and she brought up something very interesting about, well, have I ever tried writing a list of the things I've achieved or completed? And honestly, I was just gobsmacked. I was like, what? What's this list? Huh? It just overall sounded quite positive. And I was intrigued because, you know, I've always just worked the same way. Just lots of post-it notes and, you know, my bullet journal and my wall calendar just filled with all the things, all the grand ideas and things that I want to get done. But realistically, I'm lucky if I cross off maybe 1 to 2 a week. And that's me being very lucky to do that. So Emma's little revelation was quite interesting because I gave it a go. I did it last week, and it was honestly just refreshing. I felt great overall. It was, how can I put it? It was very enjoyable. I felt like I had achieved so much. I was proud of myself. I was feeling great. I was chuffed. It just had a better overall feeling as compared to the traditional to-do list. And I think it's something that I'm going to start to include in my weekly planning and scheduling. If you are interested in giving it a go, by all means, do it. You'll be sincerely surprised with just how much you actually do get done. It's actually mind-boggling. And we've got Emma from Switch and Pivot to thank, so I'll actually have her info listed down below in the description bar. She's got a lot of great stuff on her Instagram, so go and check her out. So if you're wondering what's with the tiger obsession, if you have caught my previous video to this one, it was also tiger related. I guess the only answer I would have for you would be I've always painted tigers. They're definitely a motif that I have always enjoyed doing and felt very natural creating. The very first one from memory would have been year 10 in high school when I was taking art. But I really, when I think about that tiger that I painted, it was a pretty large canvas. It was actually very morbid because I painted a beautiful Siberian tiger but in captivity, and there was like lots of bars and lots of grey and still and, you know, urban environment. And for years, my mum, she was so beautiful. My mum is beautiful. She displayed it proudly in her home, and people will comment on it and stuff. And yeah, that was all lovely, but I never liked that painting. Funny enough, I think it was just a hard reminder of what's happening to our animals on our planet, and just the devastation that humans have put down on them. So I actually got rid of that canvas. I think it was 5 years ago. I pulled it down from the wall and said, "Sorry, Mum, it's got to go." And it ended up in the rubbish. I was happy to see it go. If you think that's crazy, have you done something like that before with your own art? Just completely just chucked it out? And it's not because I didn't like the look of it, like as in the tiger itself, like or the style or where my artistic abilities at that point in time. I was actually quite happy with it. It was just the story behind it, I think, and what I captured, just the look of devastation in the tiger's eye. Yeah, I'm just remembering it and I'm just not enjoying it. So yeah, I started to create tigers again as part of the 100-day project, which I participated in last year for 2020. And tigers came up a few times for me, and I found a style that I really liked and how I captured them. And I was looking at something to do recently, and that's how the previous video came about. And that's how this video has come about. I am really trying to not flutter about in my subject matter too much. I'm trying to revisit certain subject matters and trying to push myself to grow in them. I think that will actually help me in the long run as an artist. So that's me trying to be the responsible artist, whereas the flut about Alex that, you know, wanders and dreams and, you know, daydreams all day would be 1 minute rainbows, the next minute spaceships, you know. So yeah, I'm trying to be responsible, if you couldn't tell. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen the previous video that I did on my February spreads in my bullet journal, but I mentioned somewhere in there that I had some huge news to spill, and I was hoping to tell you guys soon, and it's been weeks since then. So the soon has expired a long time ago. And I still can't tell you guys. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that's like, I need to tell you something, but I can't tell you. And I find that absolutely frustrating. It makes me fume, honestly. And now I'm doing it to you. What a hypocrite. But it's the kind of news where, you know, I can't say it out loud just yet because I don't want to jinx it. So I'm going to just hold it close to my chest a little bit longer, and then hopefully the grand reveal will come soon. But I promise you, I will spill the tea, and it will be soon. So I'm feeling absolutely exhausted lately, from my daughter being sick to also starting childcare, which the two go hand in hand. If anyone out there has children that have gone to daycare, they can totally relate. But yeah, so it's just been emotionally trying. I mean, we got past the flu, and then it's just obviously taking her in, and she cries, and it's very unsettling for a parent, and it makes me feel bad, and I cry when I leave, and yeah, it's just the same thing each time, and it's very trying, very, very trying. So I just feel like I've just been just a little bit tender and just vibing very low, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I know that it will one day pass, and then one day, and hopefully in the near future, she'll just run in there and be delighted to go and forget about me at the door, and then I'll most likely still cry because that happened. You can't win either way. Yeah, so I trained at a new gym this morning, and it was brutal. I normally go to F45, and that has actually really helped me achieve my weight loss. If any of you don't know me, I recently just dropped 20 kilos. That's a large amount of weight to drop, but I'm so glad I did it. I have a lot of credit to give to the kind of foods I've been eating and cutting out. That's played a major part, but also moving my body, because I've always been a fan of it. I kind of dropped out doing it when I fell pregnant and never returned to it, but there's a lot of power in moving your body and just pushing it a bit here and there, because it obviously releases all those feel-good endorphins and etc., but it's just another thing that you do that you feel like you've achieved. And when you start to see the results, it's really very, very exciting and inspiring. And if any of you saw my previous video in my February plan with me, I actually show you my weight loss results, my measurements and stuff like that according to date. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go check that out. But yeah, I started at a new gym today. Well, didn't start, I just went for a trial to see how it went, and it was brutal. Like, not used to that kind of training whatsoever. And I am absolutely wrecked now. I've still got the whole day ahead of me. But I really wanted to focus on getting this video out for you guys sooner rather than later. So I've buckled down to do it. Little miss is in childcare. I've got my microphone out at my desk, and I did a great little spread in my journal, my art journal yesterday. I'm feeling good. Things are happening. Another thing that I did recently that was out of the ordinary is I tried a new recipe, and I'm really bad at following recipes. I don't know about you guys, but I never seem to get it right. Like, I think I try and speed read, and then I get the measurements wrong, and it always ends up being an epic fail, and it just makes me not want to follow a recipe again. But I don't know, every now and then I get this excitement to do it. So the recipe I tried was for spinach and ricotta dumplings, and I found the recipe from Aldi Australia website, which I found pretty remarkable, because I'm hardly ever on their website, and I think I happened to just be going through their catalogue that I got in store, and I saw that they had a recipe section, and I really liked the photo that I saw. So I embarked on this mad cooking frenzy, and it was pretty simple. I was actually quite impressed with how simple it was. It was a little bit time consuming because it required setting them in the fridge for a bit. But apart from that, they turned out beautiful, and it's definitely something that I'm probably going to tweak when I try to make them again, and maybe add a few different things in there, and maybe even possibly create like a dessert version I'm just trying to think what would go well. Maybe something with fruit. But yeah, it was surprisingly good, and I know I've gone off the beaten track with that, but I thought I'd share it with you guys because Aldi Australia, I'm impressed. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate every single one of you. It's the kind of thing that really brings me a lot of joy. It's definitely a passion project, and I mean, if I didn't enjoy it, I would definitely not be doing it. And filming and editing is a completely brand new thing to me, so exposing myself on YouTube has been a huge learning curve, and I just want to say thank you to anyone that's out there watching my art. I appreciate you because it brings me a lot of joy. So enjoy the rest of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.